I'd spent much of the night studying the floor plans and the layout of the neighborhood. I'd obtained the most recent maps the day before. The firm had undergone some internal construction, but the layout was pretty much the same as the last time I was there. I went over everything one last time in the car, ensuring I had all possible escape routes memorized. Bruce said nothing during the drive. He knew I needed to think. I broke the silence when we were about 2 blocks away from the target. "Make a right here." He did as instructed. "Turn left up ahead, then let the car idle," I said, "and keep an eye out." It was time to complete the look. I pulled down the visor and looked in the vanity mirror. As I silently recited a chant, my eyes drew in light, sipped it like liquid through a straw, stripped it down to filaments of radiation, and then spun the filaments out like living, coiling, intangible threads under my sole control. The ability to manipulate light was a virus carrier's curse or blessing, depending on how the carrier chose to live her life. I put the multitude of living light threads to work on my face, tightening a spot here, recoloring a spot there, erasing a scar, adding a well-placed freckle or two, making this area more prominent, making that area less so, until I really looked like a Jacqueline May, a beautiful woman. My viral condition and the skill I'd acquired to cope with it enabled me to change the appearance of my face and body with relative ease, and the special makeup allowed me to hold the look for a longer amount of time with a minimal amount of concentration. The susceptible would believe I was the person I wanted them to think I was. The fools in the lawless firm would not only believe the illusion, but love it. Bruce whistled as his eyes took in the new me. Then he shook his head. "Still seems like a lot of unnecessary trouble, Betty. You could easily turn yourself invisible, sneak in, do the deed, and walk out as, pretty as you please." I sighed as I pushed up the visor. Poor Bruce was still relatively new to this life. I'd tried my best when training him to be my faithful assistant. He occasionally did offer helpful advice, but oftentimes he just didn't get it. Such was a perk of not being a virus carrier. "Invisibility," I said. "Camouflage. These take greater amounts of concentration and will. They're energy drainers. Once in, I'm going to need to focus on studying the layout. These floor plans were helpful, but this is still slightly unfamiliar territory. And even though I worked here in the past, I can't totally rely on what I once thought to be true." "The supplier I'm meeting with is Montrose," Bruce said. "You know his background. Should I let him in on what's up? His boys could provide backup." I closed my eyes and sighed again. He still didn't have complete confidence in me. It was kind of sweet in a way, him wanting to ensure I remained safe, especially considering how we first met. "I know what I'm doing, Bruce. I was trained by some who have more abilities and skills than they have any honest right to have. I'll be better off without meddling." He nodded. I got out of the car and circled around to his window. "One day you may get to see me in action," I said, "from start to finish. Then you'll understand how getting in is the hard part. Easing out is relatively sublime."